Welcome. You are about to start an exciting journey. This journey is learning to code. Coding can feel like magic. You'll tell a computer what to do and it will do it. This is the first lesson in a series. We will learn the basics together. It's okay if you've never coded before, we'll take it one step at a time. Are you ready? Let's begin. Programming is like writing instructions for a computer. Just like we use languages to communicate with each other, we use programming languages to talk to computers. When you write code, you're telling the computer what to do. It's like creating a recipe. Each line of code is an instruction. The computer follows these instructions step by step. Programming is used everywhere. It powers your favorite apps, websites, and even video games. By learning to code, you'll understand how technology works and even create your own. In this series, we'll be using a programming language called Python. Python is a great language for beginners because it's easy to read and understand. It's like writing in plain English but with a specific structure that computers can understand. Don't worry, we'll learn this structure together. Python is used to create all sorts of amazing things, from websites and apps to artificial intelligence and data analysis. Let's dive in and write some Python code ourselves. Before we start coding, we need a place to write and run our code. This is where our coding playground comes into play. Just like how children need a playground to explore, experiment, and have fun, we need a similar space for our coding adventures. A place where we can try out new ideas, make mistakes, and learn from them without any pressure. Think of it as our coding playground. It's a space where creativity meets logic, and where we can build anything we imagine. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced coder, having a dedicated space to code is essential. We'll be using an online tool called Online Python Compiler. This tool is perfect for our needs because it's accessible from anywhere with an internet connection. You don't need a powerful computer or any special software. All you need is a web browser. You don't need to download or install anything. This means you can get started right away without any hassle. No need to worry about compatibility issues or running out of storage space on your device. Simply open your web browser and search for Online Python Compiler. It's as easy as typing a few words and hitting enter. Once you find the website, click on the link to open it. We'll use this website for all our coding exercises in this lesson. The interface is user-friendly and designed to help you focus on writing code. You'll find all the tools you need right at your fingertips. Once you have the website open, you'll see a blank space where you can type in code. This is where the magic happens. This blank space is your canvas, and your code is the paint. You can create anything you want here. This is our coding playground. It's a place where you can experiment, learn, and grow as a coder. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every error is an opportunity to learn something new. Get ready to write your first lines of code in the next section. We'll start with some simple exercises to get you comfortable with the environment. By the end of this lesson, you'll have a solid foundation to build on. So, let's dive in and start coding. Section 5, your first lines of code. Let's write our very first line of code. In the coding playground, type the following. Python, print, hello world. Don't worry too much about what it means right now, just type it exactly as you see it. Once you've typed it in, press the run button on the website. You should see the words, Hello World, appear below the code editor. Congratulations, you've just written and executed your first program in Python. Section 6. Talking to the computer variables. Let's learn about variables. Variables are fundamental concepts in programming that allow us to store and manipulate data. They act as placeholders for information that can change or be used throughout a program. Understanding variables is crucial for anyone looking to dive into the world of coding. In programming, a variable is like a container that holds information. This information can be anything from numbers and text to more complex data structures. By using variables, we can write flexible and dynamic code that can handle a variety of tasks and inputs. You can give this information a name, making it easy to work with. Naming variables appropriately is important because it makes your code more readable and maintainable. For example, instead of using vague names like X or Y, you might use more descriptive names like age or username. Think of it like a box. Just as you can store items in a box and label it, you can store data in a variable and give it a name. This analogy helps to visualize how variables work in a program. You can put things in the box and give the box a label. Similarly, you can assign a value to a variable and use that variable throughout your code. This makes it easier to manage and manipulate data as your program runs. In Python, we create variables using the equals sign. This is known as variable assignment. For example, if you want to store the number 10 in a variable called score, you would write score equals 10. This tells the computer to store the value 10 in the variable named score. Try this code name equals Bob. Here we are creating a variable called name and assigning it the value Bob. This means that whenever we use the variable name in our code, it will represent the value Bob. Print hello name plus. This line of code demonstrates how we can use the value stored in a variable to create dynamic output. By combining the text hello with the value of the variable name, we can generate a personalized greeting. This code creates a variable called name and stores the value Bob in it. Variables can store different types of data, such as strings, numbers, and even more complex data structures like lists and dictionaries. Understanding how to work with different types of variables is key to becoming a proficient programmer. Then it prints a personalized greeting using the value stored in the name variable. This is a simple example of how variables can be used to make your code more dynamic and interactive. By mastering variables, you'll be well on your way to writing more complex and powerful programs. Section 7. Numbers in code. Numbers are essential in programming, just like in everyday life. They help us perform calculations, manage data, and even control the flow of our programs. Without numbers, many of the tasks we take for granted would be impossible to achieve. We can use Python to do math. Python is a powerful language that makes it easy to perform a wide range of mathematical operations. Whether you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing, Python has got you covered. You can use symbols like plus for addition, minus for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, and slash for division. Let's try it out. Apples equals 5, oranges equals 3. These symbols are intuitive and easy to remember, making Python a great choice for beginners and experts alike. Total fruits equals apples plus oranges. This simple line of code demonstrates how we can use variables to store values and then perform operations on those values. It's a fundamental concept that underpins much of programming. Print you have, total fruits, fruits. The print statement is a powerful tool in Python. It allows us to display the results of our calculations and other operations, making it easier to understand what's happening in our code. This code defines variables for the number of apples and oranges, which are then used in our calculations. Variables are like containers that hold data. They allow us to store and manipulate information in our programs. Calculates the total number of fruits by adding the values stored in the apples and oranges variables. This is a simple example of how we can use Python to perform arithmetic operations on variables, and then prints the result. The final step is to use the print statement to display the total number of fruits. This makes it easy to see the outcome of our calculations and ensures that our code is working as expected. Section 8. Putting it together, little projects. Let's combine what we've learned to create a simple project. We'll make a program that calculates the area of a rectangle. Length equals 10, width equals 5, area equals length times width. Print. The area of the rectangle is area. This program first defines variables for the length and width of the rectangle. Then, it calculates the area by multiplying the length and width. Finally, it prints the result. Congratulations on completing these first steps. Section 9. What's next? You've learned about programming, writing code in Python, using variables, and even doing some math. In the next lesson, we'll explore more about interacting with the user and making our programs more dynamic. Keep practicing. And remember, coding is like solving puzzles. It's challenging and rewarding. Get ready for more coding adventures in our next lesson.